What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Stolen Realm. We checked out the game last year, and it seemed promising. It's definitely like one of those games that I think is a little bit unique in its premise. It's not a game that's super heavy on story yet, but the developers have said that they're working on the storyline, but for right now, you can play it just as kind of like a randomized dungeon crawler with a customized party that you made yourself. The best way I know how to describe it is that this game is kind of like Dungeon Siege. If Dungeon Siege was a turn-based game and you ratcheted up the loot to like Diablo 2 levels, that's exactly where you would be with Stolen Realm. You create a custom party, you go through procedural dungeons, they get consecutively harder, but the loot drops get better and better, and you mostly focus on making your party members look cool and have like spiked helmets and stuff. We're going to dive on in, play for about 25-30 minutes today for the purposes of this video. Since I showed you the beginning of the game the last time we covered it, I've gotten about 2-3 hours into the game this time. I've got a party that's developing. They're all like, not high level, but they've gotten a few levels under their belts. They've gone on a couple of adventures. They've got equipment and stuff like that, so that hopefully you can see something that's a little bit further on into the game. Additions that they've made to the game since the last time I've played is they've added like a crafting system now. They've added an enchanting system where you can actually add affixes to weapons and things like that to create like the perfect stuff for your party. And so it's definitely coming around. Down below in the description is where you'll find the link if this game looks appealing to you. You'll also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream down there. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So here we are inside the game with my party. We've got, let me give you like a brief intro to my party, okay? We've got Touchy McNab. Touchy McNab is the group paladin. He's basically the designated healer. He's like a cleric. He can like hang out in melee, and he's usually like up in the thick of it throwing heals. We've got the Punchsmith. The Punchsmith is a monk, but she's got a giant battle axe for right now because I haven't found any suitable monk weapons yet, like tonfas or like kestises or like any type of hand wraps. We have El Blasto. He wears a fedora. He's a fire mage. We also have Crash Nasty. Crash Nasty is a necromancer who dual wields skulls on sticks. We have Zest Falcon. She's a dual wielding pistolera. And then we've also got Kid Cuddy, who is our local stab you in the kidneys rogue. And so anyways, this is the main town hub. When you're in it, you can go to all these various vendors and you can buy things. There's a potion vendor, there's a jewelry vendor, a weapons vendor, basically all the stuff that you would expect there to be inside a town for you to spend all of your ill-begotten gold. For right now, I do have a little bit of money, but I did want to see if the items randomize. They do, actually. Okay, so you can actually recycle the shops by leaving the game and coming back on in. Good to know. Items are very expensive in this game, so I haven't really been purchasing them. I've mostly just been using stuff that I find around. However, the items in this game are randomly generated just like Diablo, which means that it's got like this very, very delightful dopamine hit after every single battle where you curiously go through all the different robes and amulets and, you know, shields and stuff like that to see what stacks up with your builds the best that you have on all your varying characters. When it comes to customization, the game is actually pretty full of it. Your characters can do and be just about anything that they want to be. There's not really any confinement when it comes to building your character. Basically, there's 9 different talent trees, and you can take whatever you want. If you want to take the first level talent from every single tree, do it. Like, nobody's gonna stop you. If you want to hyper-focus one tree, you can also do that. It's entirely up to you. And I think that that freedom is a little bit delightful. It's got like a little bit of like a, I don't know, like a Grim Dawn feel to it, I guess, where you're only limited by your imagination. I've got some dungeons in front of me. I don't know how well this is gonna go. We might lose. Like, I really struggled with the last dungeon, but I ultimately managed to pull it off with a couple of deaths. If your characters die, it doesn't really matter. They resurrect when you get back to the world map after the fight with like 2 HP. So you don't have to worry about anybody permadeath dying on you. I do think there might be a permadeath setting. I don't recall from when I created my game, but there might be. I'd have to check on it. Let's go ahead and go on an adventure. So here we are. The Giants used to be peaceful, but they have been oddly aggressive as of late. Did you guys send them the ritual shipment of coffee? That might be what's going wrong here. Like, we might not need to murder them. We might just need to set up some kind of like lucrative trade deal with Folgers to deliver a couple shipments here per day. I get kind of cranky when I don't get my caffeine, is all that I'm saying. We've got a bear over here. If you're wondering how this all works, basically, we start out on this tile right here, and the game uses an FTL-style map system where we're going to pick paths, and it will generate things in differentiating directions. There are kind of like harvesting nodes, like you can go fishing in this game, you can go like herbalism. I haven't seen any mining nodes yet, but I assume they're going to add that. We can't move on until we take care of this fight right here, so we're going to do the bear necessities, and we're going to take this bear out. Grower, says the bear. There are various shrines on the map. That's a Reaper shrine. It makes us hit harder, but we also get hit harder. This right here is a Goblin battle standard. What I'm going to do is there's no particular turn order or initiative in this game. I'm going to fall back to the Goblin battle standard so that we can fight from here and get the bonus for kind of squaring off against the enemy using this spot. Unfortunately, I don't have enough melee warriors to really like cover every single angle. And so the very, very real possibility here is that like El Blasto or maybe like one of my squishier characters is going to get chewed on a little bit. I don't think there's too many things I can do from this position. So I think we're just going to have to wait it out on this spot. It does look like I can shoot a fireball at somebody. Let's go ahead and shoot a fireball. Yeah, let's shoot a fireball at their magician right there. So he's taking 44 damage, and he's also gotten a debuff called Heat that increases the amount of fire damage that he takes. I think that's acceptable. Everybody is kind of like one step out of his range. So actually, I'm going to move him to right here, and then I'm going to use Dagger Throw to keep the pressure up on that magician right there. It's pretty much all that I can do for right now. We'll go ahead and end his turn. It looks like I can lay down Burning Ground on this side as well. Although I think I'm going to wait for the combat to be joined, because once the enemy actually makes base contact, they can't leave without taking an attack of opportunity. And as it goes with AI in games like this, they tend to really, really, really prioritize staying in combat once they're in it to avoid that attack of opportunity. My Necromancer is going to summon a skeleton that's going to take a shot at the enemy. We can trouble someone's mind. I would definitely recommend we do that, but it should be on somebody that's got a little bit higher of health, because Troubled Mind is basically a poison damage over time effect. I've been kind of like speccing Crash Nasty specifically into damage over time effects, so that like every 3 turns he can summon and then he can dot somebody up, and then they basically just like kill themselves on our dots trying to close the gap with us. And it's been a fairly successful strategy so far. We've also got, ooh, I can summon a wolf. Yeah, that might be kind of cool. Let's summon a Borker out here. Yeah, there's a little Borkinator right there. He actually deals pretty good damage. He double attacks? Very nice. I hadn't had a chance to summon the wolf yet, and so I didn't know exactly what he does. We do have a crippling shot over here, and we do have Tracker's Mark, but I'm not going to waste them. Everything in this game... Ow, you shot it! How dare you attack El Blasto? How dare you? He attacked El Blasto. Who would do something like that? Alright, so I'm going to have my healer lay on hands on El Blasto. And then El Blasto is going to shoot a fireball right into the middle of these nerds. There we go. That's the damage that I was looking for. And then we'll put down a field of flame right there, which is going to kill 2 enemies. The game does have kind of like this slow motion effect that it puts on enemies that have been killed. If you're using a particularly percussive attack, it will launch them all over the arena. And I'll be honest with you, it's really satisfying in this game, detonating like a firebomb, killing 5 guys at once and seeing them fly all over the place. It's very, very satisfying. I don't know whose idea that was. But whoever's idea that was, it was a really good idea. Dashing Strikes has taken out the fox, and as you can see, he's flying across the map now. I need a ranged... Actually, go fight the bear. Go help the wolf out with his bear problems. We'll go ahead and double attack over here. Wasn't a whole lot of damage, but it was something. We can also run Garrett on this guy. That's going to put like a little bit of bleed on him, which will probably help out. With you right here... I think that I would like for you... Go ahead and put Frost Shards on this guy. And there we go. We're going to give him a nasty case of the Icy Cold Shards. And so he's been taken care of. We don't really have much else to do. I can summon a bird to help out over on this side. These summons are very, very hard on our mana, though, so that's just something to keep in mind as you're playing the game. There is a mana potion sitting right there, so my hope is that they don't kill the bear on this turn. if they do, that would kind of suck. Is it my turn again? All right. Let's get the mana restoration, and we'll get the health restoration right there. It doesn't matter the positioning of your party members when those items drop on the ground. When you pick them up, they all get the benefit from it. So don't worry yourself too much about getting there. But you do want to pick them up along the way. Otherwise, in my experience, you're definitely going to have problems with mana by the time you get to the end of the dungeon. There we go. Put a couple gun blasts on him. Finish him off with a crippling shot. And the fight is finished. The bear is apparently completely and totally capable of human speech, and he's asked what our motives were in murdering him, and like, sorry, man, you were in the way. Like, it won't let me spawn the next map tile until I kill you. I'm conflicted right now. That statement makes me think that maybe I'm the bad guy here. We picked up, because it was mostly animals and not a lot of humans, we got mostly crafting materials here. Animal hides, things of that nature. We did get a wooden buckler, though, it looks like, but that's about it. We did get a little bit of XP as well and a little bit of money, but let's take it on back to the world map and see what we got in front of us. Opening up the path, we've got a couple of unknown slots right here, and we've got a couple of fights on that side. I'm going to take this unknown path right here that takes us up towards this other battle, mostly because it gives us an opportunity to get to that healing tile that's a little bit further down. It looks like over here we've got some mushroom harvesting that we can do, so let's go ahead and do that. Close, but no cigar. I got the red cap, but you get a double output if you can hit the perfect skill check. And then we've got a carved monolith. A giant obsidian monolith towers over you. Carved in its center is a mysterious emerald rune that is emanating magical power. There are two possible outcomes. We can activate it, press the palm of your hand against the monolith, and you will gain celerity. What does celerity do? Dexterity increased by 6. The other option is we can heal from the monolith, and we'll get 25% health and mana back. I'm going to put the Punchsmith on this one, and I'm going to give her celerity because her build directly kind of benefits from access to having dexterity. Over here, we can go to a shop. Yeah, let's go to the shop. I don't think I've actually visited too many shops while playing this game. Just not a thing that's happened. The path has been chosen. The beacon has been lit. Let's cut off in this leftward direction over here. It looks like we've got money on the ground. Very nice. You'd think a merchant wouldn't just leave that laying on the ground. He'd scoop it up, but, you know, maybe he's the sharing kind of merchant. Let's go ahead and talk to him and see what he's got inside of his little duffel. He's got a gilded hatchet. It gives 2 might, 2 vitality, so damage and vitality. And then it also has 10 to 13 damage. If I sell some stuff, I could probably get to it, maybe. Well, it might be too expensive. I do have some sugar briars that I can potentially... Oh, did that sell all of the sugar briars? I think it did. I think I just wanted to sell one. That explains why the payout was so good. So, like, if I wanted to sell one, how do I sell one? So shift clicking makes it look like you just sell that right there. Odd. I don't know how I don't sell a stack. Strange. You'd think there'd be... I didn't expect it, actually. I thought it was going to sell one by one. Instead, it sold the entire stack. You'd think the buttons would be differentiated right here. There's got to be a keybind or something that I don't know about. There's got to be. But shift-clicking sells the entire stack, too, just like pushing the button, and Alt and Control don't seem to have any effect. So, if there's no way to sell individual items, I would highly recommend they add another button here, like sell all and sell one, basically. Interesting. I can get my stuff back, I think. Yeah, I can get my stuff back, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I do want that hatchet, kinda. Does anybody need that hatchet, kinda? So, like, you've got the Goblin Machete. That would give you, like, a little bit of extra... Okay, so, like, an extra... It'd give you some extra damage over the machete. I can dig it. She's got the two-handed axe. That would allow me to throw a shield on her. Since she mostly gets damage out of her special abilities, I don't think that's actually a bad idea. Maybe we give the hatchet to her, and she'll be like a hatchet-wielding monk psycho. Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it out. We'll go ahead and we'll unequip right there. This does not have click and drag functionality, by the way. I would like to see click and drag functionality. You basically got to click on each thing and be like equip, unequip, like it's a console game. And like for a PC game, for a menu like this, they really should have drag and drop. But anyways, we'll equip the hatchet on her, and then we'll give her the buckler. And I think by and large, that may actually turn out. So she got 7 vitality out of the deal and 2 might. She lost a little bit of damage, but I don't really use her auto attack that much anyways, so who cares? Let's go ahead and we'll move up to this battle right here. We'll get ourselves dug in the trenches. See if there's any good harvesting nodes over on this side we can play around with. There's a pond. That means we can go fishing. Yeah, let's fish this guy out of here. That's right, the game has a fishing minigame. What's not to love about a fishing minigame? Everybody loves fishing minigames. Your game is never worse by adding fishing to it. That's an unabashed truth that I have become aware of via playing indie games, is that adding fishing to your game always works out for the better. On this side, we are surrounded by banditos. Okay, let's put down a wolf over here just to get us started. And actually, it looks like the wolf straight up one-shotted those nerds. All right. We'll put a little bit more damage on that guy right there. This reduces mana cost, so technically I should have moved next to the Tesla coil before I casted anything, and it would have worked out better. Still, let's go ahead and fireball the crow over there. I'm going to have my paladin come over here and see if he can't just, like, deal with this guy. Doesn't look like he can deal with him on this turn, but he'll get him on the next turn. We'll move up with our rogue over on this side, and we are going to Garrett this guy. We are going to... I don't think I can move any further. Let's go ahead and dagger throw on the bird right there. We'll do like a nasty crippling cut right there. And then we'll get a double swing off right here. And it actually killed him, so he's been knocked clear. Over here, we're going to summon our skeleton, as we tend to do. But we're going to move into the free mana area first. We'll go ahead and put down the skeleton right there. He's going to shoot the fox. That's fine by me. I'm okay with it. We're going to trouble the fox's mind. We're going to give him a terrible case of, like, fox mental disorder. And then over here, we're gonna knock this fox the hell out with just a monk punch right there. We'll give him the old, like, right straight and see if it's good enough to sit him down. Is everybody good to go right now? I think everybody has used up their action. Yeah, I think we're solid. We'll end the turn. The enemy's gonna hit us with a little bit of retaliation right here, so you better be ready for it. It's gonna get a little bit stingy before it gets better. The good news is I've got like a, oh no, my dog, dude. Huh. Okay, well, I've got options. We're going to put down Burning Ground right there to just get them burning to a cinder. We're going to follow it up with a fireball. And boom, that's how you shatter a pack right there. That's the good stuff. We're going to use Dashing Strikes on that side. That's going to hit all these dudes. We are going to... I don't have any more AoEs left, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and put Haunting on that guy to heal up a little bit. My mage just had an amazing turn. We'll summon a bird right there. Does anybody need a heal? Is anybody feeling like life is just not working out so great right now? If so, I can assist you. I'm going to trouble the mind of the bird, I guess. He's going to be a bird that's just really, really struggling with life's great nihilistic truths. I think I forgot my auto attack on my rogue. I think that was the one thing that I left out, unfortunately. Wow, my rogue is really getting chewed on here. Okay. I'm going to have you move down to here because damage is consistent. So, like, once they take damage, they keep that damage on them until we heal it somehow. And so, in order to have my rogue come out of this fight with a little bit better of health, I'm going to have him run down and catch lay on hands from the paladin. Over here. Yeah, go ahead and give him a straight kick. There we go. Just knock him off the map. Caw, he said inquisitively. Oh, that's my bird. I thought I had to kill that bird right there, dude. We almost had some green-on-green action. We got a fine feather, a wolf pelt. We've got the trainer's kiss. It looks like it increases our summon's damage. It's not that great of a pendant, though. If I could put some elemental damage on it or something, it'd probably be better. Like a little bit of extra physical. I don't know. I've got multiple summoners in my party, though, so, like, earlier on in this run, that would have been an attractive prospect, but alas. We'll go over here. We'll grab this shrine real fast in order to heal up our party members. And it looks like there's also another fishing spot, which I'm totally down for. You get a line and I'll get a pole. We'll go down to the crawdad hole. Honey, baby mine. There we go. We caught some river moss. That's sort of like... It's sort of mirroring the way I feel like it goes whenever I go fishing. I caught a whole bunch of algae and got skunked. We'll go over to here. We might take on the elite fight. I don't know. We're in pretty good shape right now, so I don't know if the elite fight is something that I want to do. We do have a druid over here. That means there's going to be a lot of poison involved. Hey, we got the perfect harvest. That means there's going to be a lot of poison involved in this fight, and poison can actually be kind of devastating in this game once it picks up a lot of stacks. They've done a really good job with the design of this game where, like, all of the buffs and all of the debuffs actually feel pretty consequential. I don't hate them. Like, normally I tend to stay away from debuff builds, and I tend to, like, kind of isolate what the most effective strategy is pretty quickly. But honestly, I feel like most of the trees in this game are pretty decent. Like, I don't feel like any of them don't carry their own weight. Like, I feel like they do a pretty good job. We're going to take our monk up to here, and we're going to fix this bandit up right here with a real solid punch. There it is. End turn. I'm going to move over to here and engage with this wizard just to lock him down a little bit. Well, okay, I knocked him out of my area control. That was probably a mistake. Probably shouldn't have did that. Not much that my rogue can do for right now, so we're going to get him into a position where he can potentially do something later. Over here, we're going to want to put the wolf on their caster. Perfect. Actually, I think the better deployment would have been right there, so that the AoE howl would have got that timber wolf. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the enemies in this game have affixes. So this guy is destructive. You can right-click on anybody, and you can find out what their affix means. So this guy hits for double damage, which is terrifying. I hate that. So what we're going to want to do... We're kind of going to want to focus this guy a little bit, because he has the potential to really mess us up if we leave him undealt with. I move one space this way, I can launch a fireball at him, which I think is a good idea. I got a bad feeling that that wolf's going to close the gap, though, no matter what I do. I could get a fire effect on him right there. I don't know if I want to. Let's wait a second and see how the fight goes. Yeah, let's give it a second, and we'll just kind of wait and see where all the enemies end up. Yeah, see, now we've got a double turn AoE opportunity right here. That's what I was kind of wondering about. Our wolf has been taken down, but this is the time for El Blasto to shine. We'll put him right there, and then follow up with the fireball for the 1-2 combo that I've become oh so addicted to. Good turn, my magey friend. Let's get the rogue in behind this guy. We are going to Garrett. We are going to Crippling Strike. We are also going to auto attack, and that'll take him out. I can throw a knife at this guy, but I don't have line of sight, so I kind of need to wiggle around here to make it work. There we go. The knife has been thrown. The die has been cast. Over here... Yeah, let's get into position. Why not? Let's keep this thing going. We'll do a dashing strike right there. Ooh, I ran out of movement on top of my fire. That's unfortunate. Well, that sucketh. Okay, let's put some damage on this guy. I was hoping the frost attack would finish him off. Instead, we'll put the dot on him right there so he's nice and poisoned up. I think everybody has mostly taken their turn. So there's nothing left to do but wait and see how this whole thing plays out. The fire did indeed affect us. That's unfortunate. That guy is now dead. That's where the heal came from, as he died and we were adjacent to the poison or to the potion that he dropped. This guy's backpedaling a lot. And we're going to need to chase him down. Luckily, your range ends up being, like, ridiculously absurd in this game, because it scales with your intelligence. And so a lot of your casters are going to be in, and they're going to end up being able to bomb out enemies from, like, halfway across the map, basically. Pretty consistently. We got a fox tooth. Actually, this has been a really light run on loot. We have not picked up anything so far. Don't take this run as being an example of the game's normal loot. Normally, there's a lot more loot around. I don't know if I just want to beeline. Like, I guess we could do the elite fight. I'll show you what an elite fight looks like. I'm a little bit remiss to take the elite fight because the loot has been so poor thus far. What does that do? I think that heals us, I think. We'll go ahead and fight the hard battle. Let's see how this thing plays out. It's nothing personal. We have a quest to complete. So you're kind of like you were a good guy, but you've sort of been driven mad by your ambitions. I kind of dig that angle. I kind of like it. There's not really a whole lot of places for us to fight from here. This breaks a lot of line of sight over here, so I think we kind of like fall back and force them to come to us. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Like, basically, we'll fight from behind this because they have a lot of range guys, and we'll fight from cover. And hopefully this turns out to be a smart decision. Okay. I think a lot of this is going to be determined by whether or not I can dance out. Oh, he teleported. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, get him with the dazzling darts then, my man. Oh, he teleports like every time you hit him. Interesting. Where's he going to teleport this time? Dude, I'm just like fascinated by the amount of teleportation that's taking place. Well, Garrett. There we go. That put him back outside. Good. Fair enough. We do have a really good opportunity for a dashing strike right here. But it would probably leave us in the fire, which I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm going to put down a summon over there. We'll just, like, dot up whoever we can. Nobody needs to be healed just yet. Yeah, I could probably summon a wolf. That sort of undermined my plan. That wasn't what I wanted to have happen. Let's use Crippling Shot to see if we can get him out of here. We couldn't get him out of here. Lame. He's actually pretty tough, too. He's also berserking. What does berserking do? Oh, his damage goes up by his HP that's missing. Brutal. Alright. Well, this turn's gonna hurt. However, they wasted a turn dogpiling the dog over there, like a literal dog pile. So that worked out okay. He's still alive, and it's now our turn. Ooh, we got a big opportunity for a dash strike over here, but it's going to leave her super overextended. This really depends how aggressive I want to be. But man, we got a big target opportunity right here, too. There we go. Not bad. We like messed up the rigging on the fox. Doesn't matter. It's hilarious. I don't mind little visual bugs as long as they're funny. Let's take this dude out. He's still not dead. The man is a face-tanking god. There we go. He's finally dead. It took a lot of effort, but we got there. Let's go ahead and line up on this side. We'll punchitize that guy a little bit. We have ice magic we can drop on that dude. He's now dead. We've got poison magic, but we can't really throw it on anybody just yet. Now that we've broken line of sight for long enough, let's go ahead and fall back, and we'll poison the berserker. We'll get the healer up right there, and we're just going to kind of make like a contiguous front that we can fight from. We'll get another summon down, and hopefully they don't close with El Blasto. If they do, we're going to have bad problems. Looks like they're walking through the fire and coming around on the left, so that booby trap we set up worked out fantastically well. Let's go ahead and we will knock this guy back. There we go. He bumped into another enemy, so he takes double damage. And this is going to be the time for Dash Strike. Perfect, dude. That was dope. That was just absolutely probably the best usage of Dash Strike that I've ever gotten out. Let's go ahead and put some fireballs on these cats. Keep them hurting. Keep them wishing for death. I'm going to put my dodge tank rogue over here. And he'll just put a little bit of damage on him. Nothing too crazy. We're going to put a damage dot on him and another damage dot on him because it would be wasted on the guy whose HP is kind of low. And let's see what the enemy decides to do. They are currently beating up on my monk. Fair enough. We got a bunch of counterattacks and stuff over here. Let's go ahead and move up to right here, and actually move over to here, and we can throw a heal on him. You got plenty of mana. Why not? Let's keep his health nice and unchunked. We've got a kick. We'll go ahead and use it. I would like another skeleton. I would like some more dots. I can put down another field of flame, like right there, and it will only hit the enemy. So that's the money position right there. That's the good stuff. And then we'll finish you off with a lightning blast. I'm going to start assisting over on this side, because I got a bad feeling my monk is going to get chunked up a little bit. You start rotating around so you can help out with the fight on this side. Yeah, I was going to say, my monk is kind of catching a stomp out right now. Very nice. The summons took out all those dudes. You move up to there. Go ahead and give me a crippling strike on him, and then just a normal auto attack right there. Very nice. You move out to the healer's position and throw a heal on her just to keep her up for another turn. If there's a spot where I can get a fireball... Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. Who else do I have? Yeah, give me some ice magic on the berserker. Get him out of there. We'll try to save on mana a little bit with this final guy, because I've noticed my mana bars are getting a little bit low. However, this knight does have a lot of HP, and so we may have to whip out some desperate measures here. Well, I mean, the summons are doing their thing. It'll probably be okay. Let's go ahead and we'll just finish him off with auto attacks. There we go. So he managed to get his health whittled down. It took me a couple of turns, but I just remembered we're going into a boss fight right after this. And going into a boss fight right after this, we're probably going to want to have a little bit of mana left on us. But yeah, my thoughts about Stolen Realm. I like it. I think the game is pretty cool. There's been like a wide diversity of both loot and aesthetics. Like, the game stays compelling because every single fight you end up getting a bunch of really, really cool gear that you get to play around with and see how it compares to what you already have equipped. I found the game to be tactically challenging. Choosing your position and where you want to square off on the battlefield feels very, very important to me in a lot of the fights. Like, I was surprised to find that by the second dungeon, I was barely making it through. You know, and like, that was good. Like, I enjoyed that. That was really, really nice. Like, it made me think. Like, with that last fight right there, we had to break line of sight because they had so many guys that we needed to funnel them through like a hot gates type situation. And so the game manages to be a very rapid fire, very fast-paced strategy RPG, while at the same time requiring some level of thought as to the positions and like the fight tactics you decide to employ based on the builds that you've put inside of your group. And I like that very, very much. So anyways, we're out of time for the day, but my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we had a little title called Stolen Realm. Tomorrow, we will very likely have something else. Thank you for spending time with me. I actually am really, really looking forward to taking another look at this game. Once it gets further on into its early access, I think what they've got right now is very enjoyable and kind of very tempting to play around with. And so, you know, check it out. Keep an eye on it. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, everybody.